bullshit that made me strong, motherfucker. So I pick the world up and I'ma drop it on your fucking head. Yeah, bitch, I'ma pick the world up and I'ma drop it on your fucking head.
What's up, everybody? This is Bleak the Killer, the YouTuber who reviews everybody else's YouTube channel just so you won't have to wade through the sea of bullshit. He is Suli Breaks, one of the great YouTubers that I like and I do recommend. Or I should say that recommendation to the end of this video when I'll show you guys what he's all about. www.sulibreaks.com has a Facebook, a Twitter, and an Instagram. There, yeah, it's pretty good art in the background. I like this art. Channel art is pretty cool. I just learned how to do it myself. And this is some of the subjects that it does. Slum poetry. Look at the videos. Look at the videos. The Dorm Room EP. Some of my favorite videos are in the Dorm Room. Live stuff. Haven't seen much of his live stuff, but I'm sure it's good as some of the stuff I'm about to show you. So I think I'm going to show you a video in each category and see how you like it. Time versus money. My city. Suli Breaks, adulthood poetry section. All right, let's see what this is.
Suli Breaks, August 25th. Not a role model. Live show. I was stripped of my childhood. From the age of 16, I walked naked into manhood. Cause my parents were Rolling Stones. No, they were never in a rock band or on the cover of a magazine. It's just that they never hung around long enough to gather any moss. Trips back and forth to Africa in search of a better life for us made me feel like the one we had was never good enough. The one I gave them was never good enough. So me and my sisters learned to harvest ourselves, trying to see the fruits of my labor hanging from my family tree. But you see, it's hard to grow trees when you live in a city. So by the age of 17, I knew that walking a certain way could have consequences. That if my trousers were too high around my waist or my trainers were slightly out of date, I might as well be walking with a target painted on my back. You learn to do adult shit real quick. You learn to add bass in your voice when asked provocative questions. You learn the exact amount of time required to hold a man's gaze so we don't refer to you as a pussy-o. You learn to read maps, because if you ended up in the wrong postcode, it could have been a rap. You learn that death doesn't have an age limit and that guns are only cool in PlayStation and Terminator movies. You learn that people can be cruel. You finally understand what rent is and how your parents' mood slightly changes when it's due. Most importantly, you learn how the system deliberately chooses to forget about you. How you went to school for 18 years thinking that you learned so much, but you didn't learn a thing. The only thing you learn is how to stop being a child. Because the adult world isn't designed for us to dream. It's not designed for us to only feel love. It's a place where a smile is frowned upon, laughter is suspicious, and honesty is betrayal. It's childhood betrayal.
Alright, I gotta stop that. He was fucking hitting hard. I love that one. I hope you guys liked it too. That one was pretty damn good. Suli Breaks, adulthood poetry session live. Boy, wish I could have been there when he shot that live. Alright, that was from Collaborations. The first one I played was some Conversation. And on what Conversation was, that was a pretty good conversation. The way he did that, did it in a conversation way. Collaboration was pretty good. Live stuff. Alright. This was live. I'm not sure why it wasn't put up here. Because maybe he collaborated with another artist, so he probably had a little back and forth where to put it. But that's pretty cool. All right, follow the leader. Oh man, this is from his TED Talk.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit of an anticlimax. Going last. I mean, we've had so many talented people here. We've had so many people do some amazing things. I don't have that many skills. I can't create different sounds with my voice by pressing different buttons, but what I can do is poetry. I'm a spoken word artist. Last year was a bit difficult for me, if I'm honest, because I was told to talk about democracy. I'm not too engaged when it comes to political terms like that, and it's difficult to find words that rhyme with democracy, actually. Like, you have, it's very difficult. Democracy, biography, a couple other ographies which they wouldn't approve of in Parliament. You guys got, I hope I don't get in trouble for that. Yeah, so this year they said I could discuss and talk about leadership. And I realized that I actually don't know that much about leadership. as a whole. So everything I'm going to say is my opinion on what I think leadership should be. It will be relevant to some of you, may not be relevant to some of you, but please don't come up to me afterwards and give me political statements and manifestos and tell me what's right and what's wrong. I'm just stating my opinion. That's what I do as an artist. It's called Follow the Leader. Oh, and I have to explain, spoken word is basically like poetry, yeah. Or if you want to sound more cool, it's more like rap. But, now, I don't know that much about leadership. All I know is that as kids, we all wanted to be the Red Ranger. Now, if you don't understand the significance of being the Red Ranger, I feel very sorry for you. Because it means you were either born way too late to appreciate the birth of one of the world's greatest legacies, or you were born way too early to be born in one of the world's greatest centuries. But for those of you who don't know, being the Red Ranger meant that you were part of an esteemed group of individuals known as the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Now, as kids, we wanted to be the Red Ranger, because not being the Red Ranger not only meant that you got the biggest sword, the biggest Zord, and got to scream, "It's morphin' time," before every fight, but it also meant that you were the leader of the group. Now, as kids, we all wanted to be the Red Ranger. Well, actually, I wanted to be the Black Ranger for obvious reasons, but can we agree that as kids, we were unafraid to be Power Rangers, heroes, leaders? As a matter of fact, we were eager to be anything more than meager. So can we then agree that mediocrity, being average, is something that we learn? Not learn, but are taught. Maybe Socrates can expand more on this thought. What is leadership? He defined it as the challenge to be something more than average. Something we were willing to accept before life put us in the deep end. Because as we get older, it then starts to deepen. Most of us only want to be front in line to the pub or the club on the weekend. But is that our fault? Because from when I was young...
All right, let me stop that guy there, because he's hitting all cylinders again. And I don't want to be one of those YouTubers that takes somebody else's content and makes a living off of it. I just want to review his. Now, that video was fucking hot. He kind of stumbled a little bit in the beginning of me, but then he started picking up again. I mean, I don't know who's all familiar with spoken word, but it doesn't have to all rhyme. It just has to make sense to the listener. And if you were listening like I'm listening to it, then you appreciated what that was. And let me give you guys a little sample of this.
I remember not to.
All right, this is an introduction. A guy named Tarek. I don't want to disclude him. It's probably Suli Breaks boy, but let's get to the star of the show. All right.
Opened it up, put it in the player, press play.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to let.
All right, here we go.
Right now, there is a kid finishing parents' evening in a heated discussion with his mother, saying, why does he have to study subjects he will never ever use in his life? And she will look at him blank-eyed, stifle a sigh, think for a second, and then lie. She'll say something along the lines of, you know, to get a good job you need a good degree, and these subjects will help you get a good degree. We never had this opportunity when I was younger. And he will reply, but you were young a long time ago, weren't you, Mum? And she won't respond, although what he implies makes perfect sense, that society's needs would have changed since she was 16. But she will ignore him, grip his hand more sternly, then drag him to the car. But what she doesn't know is that she didn't ignore him just to shut him up. She didn't lie because they were just
Alright, I gotta stop him right there. I'm gonna continue up with that, but I just gotta let you guys know what I picked up on. He said society's needs would have changed since she was 16. That is very true, because we have this thing called technology, and people like utilizing technology and then creating and expanding on that technology, which makes what you knew yesterday not as so relevant today. So that's what it means by, you know, what you learned when you were younger is obsolete, Mom. Sorry, but when I grew up, what I'm learning today is going to be obsolete too.
Turning from parents' evening, and an argument in the hallway would look bad on her resume. She won't lie because she's just spent the last 1 hour convincing a stern-faced teacher that she will ensure that her child studies more at home. No, she will lie simply because she does not know any better herself. Although her whole adult life she has never used or applied Pythagoras' theorem, pathetic fallacy, and still does not know the value of x, she will rely on society to tell her that her child, who has one of the sharpest minds in the school, is hyperactive, unfocused, easily distracted, and wayward. Students, how many equations, subjects, and dates did you memorize just before an exam never to use again? How many A grades did you get which were never asked for when you applied for a job? How many times have you remembered something 5 minutes just after the teacher said stop writing, only to receive your results 1 month later to realize that you were only 1 mark short of the top grade? Does that mean remembering 5 minutes earlier would have made you more qualified for a particular job? Well, on the application form it would have. We all have different abilities, thought processes, experiences, and genes. So why is a class full of individuals tested by the same means? So does that mean Sherelle thinks she's dumb because she couldn't do a couple of sums? And if this issue is not addressed properly, it then becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Then every school has the audacity to have a policy on equality. The irony.
As y'all guys can see, the guy is pretty damn good at what he does. He made his YouTube channel off of what he does and spread his word to the world. I mean, he has discussions, channels, playlists, videos, same thing every other YouTube has. I'm a YouTuber that puts out content, has 62,877 views, a lot of views. I just thought I'd introduce you to this guy in case you weren't already introduced to him. I discovered him over 5-6 years ago. Look at this, 5,939,157 views. So I mean, he's already liked, he's already out there. I just decided to review his channel in case you aren't up to date on Suli Breaks. At Suli Breaks, this is his website, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Hope you guys like him as much as I do. Unsubscribe and then push unsubscribe just to let you guys know that I will subscribe to him if I didn't already do it before. That's Suli Breaks, a great YouTuber. And for my next review, I hope you guys, well, as Suli Breaks, a great YouTuber. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. That's Bleak the Killer. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.